Hi everyone, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, I want to especially welcome you. Today I'm going to be looking at a common structure of English conversation. We're going to be looking at a very typical way to comment about a situation or event in English. And I'm just going to introduce this lesson with a few example sentences so that you know what I'm talking about. So if you wanted to comment, about the pros and cons or the good things and the negative things about, working somewhere, you might say, the good thing about working here is that I have great benefits. The worst part about it is that I have to work on the weekends. And then you could also say, the trouble with leaving late is that you might get stuck in traffic. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a sentence like this and use it in your everyday conversations. Now I'll show you the main part of the comment. We'll look at prepositions followed by gerunds, and which prepositions to use. And we'll look at the noun clause and how to use the noun clause after the verb of be. So we're going to learn how to put all four of these things together to make this typical structure for conversational English. So first of all, the comment. When I talk about the comment, it's that first part of the sentence where we say the good, the bad, the worst, the nice, the nicest, the interesting, the wonderful, terrible, all those adjectives we start with, those adjectives to describe. And then we say thing, the good thing, or we say the advantages, the disadvantages, the problem or the trouble, that's usually the first part, and we call that our comment. And then after that, it's pretty typical to use a preposition. And so when we use prepositions, we usually follow with a gerund or a regular noun. Now, I have a video tutorial about verbs and prepositions followed by gerunds, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about that in our playlist for grammar. But as I was saying, when we are commenting about something, like in the examples I just gave, it's common to use certain prepositions. So when we comment the good or the bad or the worst thing or the good part, we say the good part about, and we need a preposition. So for the most part, we usually say about, the good thing about, the bad part about. We say thing or part, just kind of a generic word. And when we say trouble or problem, it's common to use with. The trouble with working here. The problem with doing something. Now, when we use advantages, the disadvantages, the benefits, it's very common to use of. Now, if you forget and say the advantages with, the advantage about, and that's fine. It's not necessarily that it's wrong. It's just become very common to use these particular prepositions with these particular comments. And then after that preposition, we normally follow with a gerund or a regular noun. Then we have the verb of be, and then our noun clause. So let's just kind of take this sentence apart. Let's kind of look at all the pieces. The good thing about working here is that I have great benefits. So our comment, the good thing, our preposition, about, our gerund, working. So the good thing about working here is, there's our verb of be, is, and then we have our noun clause, that I have great benefits. Now, the noun clause is a group of words that acts as a noun. It's a phrase, it's a group of words, and instead of using one word as a noun, we use all of these words. It's all acting as a noun. And it has a subject. Noun clauses have a subject and a verb phrase, also known as a predicate. So I is the subject, have, that's the verb. And the word that is optional in noun clauses after be, and that's why I have a parenthesis here. You can include it or you can omit it. Let's look at another sentence. I'm going to give you two sentences, and then we're going to combine them into this structure. Number one, I got a promotion at work. The bad part is I have to work on the weekends. So let's combine all of this. So let's start with our comment. Okay, it says the bad part is I have to work on weekends. So we say the bad part. And what is it we're talking about? We got a promotion. Okay, so what's the bad part about that? The bad part about getting a promotion is what? Well, that noun clause kind of answers that, is that I have to work on the weekends. Can you just say the bad part is I have to work on the weekends? Sure, you can. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I heard you got a promotion. You might just say, yeah, it's great. The bad part is I have to work on the weekends. You may not even combine these two parts to make that one sentence. You just say the bad part is I have to work on weekends. All right, let's look at another example. Here's your situation. I'm away at college. The hard part is I miss my mother's cooking. Okay, so let's combine this. All right, we'll start with our comment, good, bad, benefits, problem. Well, it's the hard part about, okay? Now it says I'm away at college. We don't say the hard part about I am away at college. No, am is a verb of be. Okay, and we need to turn that into a gerund because it's coming after the preposition about. The hard part about being, so am turns into being. Being what? Away at college is, and then we have our noun clause, that I miss my mother's cooking. Let's look at another example. And you will see this pattern here, the more times that you practice these. Here's the situation. You leave late. The trouble is that you might get stuck in traffic. So let's combine all of this. All right, let's comment the good, the bad, the advantage, the problems. Here it's the trouble. The trouble with, we most likely use the preposition with when we're talking about trouble or problems. The trouble with leaving late is what? What is the trouble with leaving late? Well, what's the rest of that part of that sentence? Is that you might get stuck in traffic. You could say the trouble with leaving late is you might get stuck in traffic. Again, that is optional after the verb of be, but I like to include it so that you know it's there. All right, let's look at our last example. I live near the beach. The advantage is that I can go swimming every day. So let's combine these two sentences. Let's start off with our comment, the good, the bad, problems, advantage. We have advantage. The advantage of, okay, of what? What's your situation? I live near the beach. So the advantage of living near the beach is what? Is that I can go swimming every day. How can you apply this grammar in your own conversations? Well, let's practice. Think about something in your life that you can comment about. Maybe an area where you live, for example. So, what is the best thing about where you live? What's the worst thing about where you live? So, you could begin by saying the best thing about living here is that the neighbors are very nice. I don't know. Is that I can walk to work. And you can also use a noun. Sometimes, you can just say the best thing about living here is the great weather, But many times we have a clause, okay? So you could say the worst thing about living here is, the traffic. Or the worst thing about living here is that my job is far away. So think of some other sentences. Think of some other noun clauses you can use. Think of these structures and practice these today. Write some sentences down and read them out loud. All right, this concludes our tutorial for conversational grammar and noun clauses after be. If you found value in this tutorial, don't forget to boop the like and subscribe for more. For notes on this tutorial, check out the link below in the description, and hope to see you next time. Happy learning, everyone!